Hey everybody, welcome back to my Let's Play. So, at long last, we're about to enter the lab, the final area of the game. So, I'm sure you guys are as excited as I am. Oh yeah. And I'm curious what they did here. Use the elevator, because at this particular point, if you were playing the GameCube version, this would be the point where they would tell you to switch to disc 2, which I always found weird. For me, I've always been like, well, this is I always kind of thought the first half of the game should be on the first CD and then the second half of the game should be on the second CD. So I don't know why. I'm sure there's a good reason why they divided up the game in that way, but if you've never played the GameCube version, like I said, and you're going to, like, for the first time, just be ready for that. It's no big deal, but it's just always good to know. Take the ink ribbon, and I sure will. Oh yeah. So finally we are here, and I should tell you guys, oh my gosh, so I joined the gym, and I never thought in a million years that I would join a gym, honestly. And it's not because I have this, like, I'm staunchly, like, against it. No, it's because, you know, kind of time has always been an issue, and I just said, when would I have time to actually get up and go to a gym? But I finally said, you know what, time to kind of change these things up and check it out. So I joined actually an all women's gym because, you know, I didn't really feel like, not that kind of a co-ed gym would be bad or anything like that, but I just kind of said, you know what, let me, you know, whether or not that pressure's there, or that perception is, you know, not perception, whether or not I don't even know how to say it, but basically, I would just prefer if guys were not there. No offense to the guys, but it's just kind of like, I want to kind of focus on my thing, want to do my thing. And so I'm gonna, oh dear, okay, let me see here. There he is. So definitely want to have this area cleared. The last thing I want, this is going to be a high traffic area for me. The last thing that I want is for me to have to deal with crimson heads on top of everything else. So I'm gonna let me go ahead and deal with these guys and move on. So anyway, I joined the gym, which was really nice, and let me tell you guys something. I'm the most uncoordinated person on the planet. And there was one time, like, they have, you know, if you know gyms, right, they have classes, and then you can kind of do your own thing. So one day, the last time I went, which was a few days ago, I went to the gym and I was doing my own thing. I was using some of the machines, but then a class was starting up, and it happened to be a Zumba class. And I had some experience with Zumba. We have a DVD here, so I tried it a few times, and I'm pretty familiar with it. So I kind of thought, let me just jump into this class and see. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna die. I seriously thought I was gonna die. Oh my gosh. And I think it was like a whole hour. I did the class for about a good 10 minutes, and then I honestly thought I was gonna pass out. It was fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a good time, but I was just kind of like, I think my problem was that I jumped into it after a long day at work, and B, having already done a lot of exercises on a lot of the machines. So I was already spent. And then I just didn't have anything left in the tank to go to do the whole Zumba class. So alright, so that's the second MO disc. How many MO discs do I have? I lost track. I do apologize. I know there's a total of 3 MO discs that I need. So I really lost track. I do apologize, guys. Yeah, wow. Okay. So let's keep going. There's plenty of areas to explore here. So, but it was kind of a good exhaustion. Like, I hate when I feel really tired from having been sitting down all day. I have a job where I have a job where there is the potential to sit down all day, and there's nothing worse than that. As a matter of fact, we all hear that's what's the expression they say? Sitting is the new smoking. Basically, sitting's not healthy for you. Sitting for extended periods of time. We all know that. But now apparently the new thing, the new bit of knowledge that we now have is that not only is sitting bad for you at extended periods of time, sitting is bad for you regardless of whether you do exercise or not. Like, let's say you go to a gym after work or something like that. And that kind of like really woke me up, and I was just kind of like, oh, that's not good. Like I said, there's some days where I am sitting all day because I have to do a lot of paperwork, I have to do a lot of computer work, so I kind of have to sit there at my desk. All right. And I actually kind of like this puzzle here. I like this a lot. And you'll see that I didn't do it all the way at first. Let me put it that way. So the idea is that you're supposed to put all the X-ray photographs in alphabetical order. Alphabetical by the person's name, the patient's name. By the way, HIPAA violation. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is supposed to be internal. Who the hell? Okay, this is clearly an umbrella lab. I don't think we're doing a lot of hospitalization here, so why would people need x-ray? Well, no, maybe they did as part of the experiments. Maybe they did. Okay, that's cool. Whatevs. Actually, it's funny because I'm always kind of like sensitive to HIPAA. The HIPAA, being the law. If you're not in healthcare, it's the law that kind of outlines how hospitals and medical centers, clinics are supposed to handle the privacy of their patients' medical information, all different aspects of it. By the way, Ada Wong, sweet. So, and I always have to give a presentation to people about the law. Well, about aspects of the law. I'm not the person that actually gives a presentation about the law, not to go into too much detail. So I always kind of joke whenever, I love when I see like shows that take place in a hospital or a health clinic or some kind of healthcare setting, and they are so blatantly violating someone's privacy, someone's right to privacy, that it's just hilarious. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand that it's TV, but you always hear that they have shows and everything like that have consultants. Like if a show or a movie has the characters use weapons, they have people that they can consult for the proper weapon use. So I always just kind of laugh that when there's just such a blatant disregard for, like I said, I understand there's a suspension of disbelief, but there's just some things, like, come on. Like, oh my goodness, wow. Especially because I know that violating that law has such severe consequences, like $1 million fines and stuff like that. And these people are just casually blabbing about their patient. Alright. So, the organs were lit up, and they basically spell out cell. Colon, esophagus, lungs and liver, lungs. I already forgot what order that was in because of my attention span being very short. So we have an idea what that password's going to be, which is great. And I love when passwords are super simple, especially for very, very secret areas like Umbrella. These people dabble in viral weaponry, and your password is cell? Not even cell plus a number plus a punctuation mark. Hell, for me to sign into the most silly site, the most silly social networking site, Twitter or whatever, I have to have a somewhat complex password. But these people making all sorts of these weaponry, and like all their files, if you read the files, speaking of which, VACT, okay, this is the file, by the way, that talks about the Crimson Heads. And I love that you get this file all the way at the end, not at the beginning when you were dealing with them. VACT. Speed and amazing muscular development are particularly noteworthy. Crimson Heads. That's the name that I call them, kind of the common name. So, thank you, game, for that. Dangerous, it keeps going. Dangerous and precious prototype specimen can be left there. Termination. and confine the body inside. So, with this file, you kind of put 2 and 2 together. Eventually, what I think happened is that George Trevor was the Crimson Head, the architect for the mansion, and he's the one that was in that. He was the one that was in that tomb, I think. That was the tomb in the area where I put the 4 masks, pretty much. And I love this non-QWERTY keyboard, by the way. Every single Resident Evil game has this keyboard, and I don't understand that. Is this like a Japanese thing? Is that where what their keyboard looks like? That like their you know, like this alphabet is configured in this way on a keyboard. Permission denied. Try to enter password. Okay, so what I did here might not seem sensical. It might seem nonsensical, but what I did was I tried to put the password that was actually in the original game. The password in the original game is actually mole. And there's a different puzzle that you need to do to get, you eventually determine that the word is mole. But here, but I thought there was going to be a funny Easter egg or something like that if you put mole instead of cell. I swear I heard that, so this is kind of weird that I didn't see anything. It just said no match. So both of the doors are now unlocked, which is great. That's what I like to see. Jill's face was kind of weird there. Did you see that? I don't know. Okay. Ugh. This freezer area always reminds me of Resident Evil 4 with the regenerators in the final part of the game. Ugh. Get a little bit of a complex with that. Right. So passwords, come on. How silly is that? And every single Resident Evil game has that. Not one password. The passwords are all words. It's like the opposite of everything to tell you. Everything any site advises you in terms of your password. Don't pick words. If you're gonna try to have both letters and numbers in your password, and some sites will even be as elaborate as add a punctuation mark to the password as well. So this just always blew my mind. I understand this was 1998 when this game first came out, but come on, you know what I mean? I think even in did we have tough standards in terms of somewhat tough standards in terms of our passwords even back then? I don't know. Somebody please elaborate on that. So, are there zombies in this area? I don't know, but I know I'm out of space. I figured that was a good time to look at the clip in case you guys couldn't remember what the magazine looked like. And there goes some more x-rays. Seriously. Oh, okay, this is not convenient. Definitely don't want this guy here because I need to come back here. Okay, there goes some dick shots for you guys. Oh god. Is he dead? Yes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and burn him, get him out of the way. Definitely don't want him around when I need to come back, because I do need to come back here, do something very important, which you'll see in a moment. And I like the addition of that particular task. You'll see it. So it's time to use this ammo disc on this GameCube here, black GameCube. So that's one of the locks. Like I said, this particular task is not required to beat the game. If you don't want to do it, don't worry. But I recommend it because it's kind of cool. Contents of this fax are confidential and intended for the named addressee only. After reading the context of this fax, must be destroyed immediately. Well, somebody didn't do their job. I hope he got fired for it. There are several concerns. First concern, more than half of the researchers have been infected. I love how tame. Oh, we have a few concerns. Half of your team is infected. Oh, and the security patrol team was eradicated. These casualties underscore the success of our research. My gosh, I tell you, Umbrella must have some amazing benefits. And an amazing, I don't even know, but like, to work and be like, I don't know if I'm gonna be infected today. I'm gonna be collateral damage, but can't beat that dental plan. I don't know. Maybe. Alright, I know there's some flame rounds there, but I don't have space for said flame rounds. But I need to come back anyway, like I said before, which is fine. So, we're gonna go. Let's go this way. So, the other thing, so besides the gym, one new thing that I wanted to do, I haven't had a chance to go to this place yet, and I'm wondering, I know very little about this place. It's called Barcade, and the name probably gives you an idea of what it is. It's apparently a bar with an arcade in it. And I think the people that run it, the people that own it, are very much into gaming. It's not just, we just have one machine for some random game. No, they're really like into it. So I'm dying to go. And I know that there's actually, I think, a couple Barcade locations in New York. But I'm not sure if it's just limited to New York. I feel like I've heard that it's in other places too. I don't know where. I feel like I've heard that it's in other areas too, in other cities, if I'm not mistaken. So if anybody's gone there, let me know what it's like. I'm kind of dying to go. I want to check it out. I've been looking at different like websites to see what kind of video game related events are around, because there have to be some. There have to be some around. Like, I missed MagFest. And I'm dying to go to MagFest, but the distance is a killer, If it were closer to me, then I would seriously consider going, because it's like, that's such an awesome thing to try to get to. I could imagine from what I've heard. I mean, I've already been to Video Games Live recently, so you can imagine. So I can imagine that MagFest would be right up my alley. So definitely curious about that as well. Alright, so I'm gonna come back here now that I have some space. And there's some stuff I can do here. Sweet. Alright, so what's over here? Oh, there we go. Okay, now I'm good. See, up until this point, right, I was honestly legitimately concerned that I had missed an MO disc. Like I said, you need 3 of them. You saw it with the door, with that lock. Fancy locking mechanism. So I thought I missed some. And like I said, I love that this is like pre-Microsoft PowerPoint. And what I'm realizing about this here, so you see these slides, so Cerberus, MA, Neptune, FI. I didn't notice until I kept looking at these, MA, Hunter, that the letters, so you see the format of it. You have letters, 1 or 2 letters, and then a few numbers. Bioorganic Weapons Group Development Staff. See, I love, so I'm assuming that code is used for this panel over here. I love how that picture is so clearly Wesker. It practically says Wesker's the bad guy and he works for Umbrella. And Jill still doesn't understand what that means. She's still like, oh, Barry, I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. That seems completely nonsensical to me. Finally, I can do this one.
Get away from me! No! Hey! No!
Thank you. That gave me a lot of information. But seriously, was Kenneth like dancing or something like that? What the hell was he doing to make the shaky cam? I understand, but that was like, I don't know, it looked weird to me. So I don't know. Hey, if I want to die dancing like that too. Security protocols. Heliport for executive use only. This restrictions, Basement level 1. Okay. Chief of security, unauthorized persons entering the heliport. Elevator stops during emergencies. Good to know. Keith Arving, don't know who he is. Okay, I love how they have full names for Keith Arving, but not for this guy. For A. Wesker. For convenience, for plot convenience. This restriction may not apply. So it's a whole lot of protocol, a whole lot of this, a whole lot of that. Okay, the passcode output terminals, that applies to us. That's the MO disk that I was mentioning earlier. So I'm actually, like I said, relieved that I found that third one, because like I said, I thought it was kind of too late in the game to find the third one, and I thought I missed it somewhere. So that's good. So you guys will get to see that. So I'm very excited to show you that, which is great. But there's still a lot more stuff to do in this area. We haven't explored everything nearly yet, but I'm just gonna go in here very quickly and just gonna sort myself out a little bit, and I'm gonna save just as a precaution again, because there's a lot of kind of tricky tasks coming up ahead. Last thing I want to do is have to repeat everything over again. So I'm gonna go ahead and save. There you go. And I think now is a good time to stop the video, so I will stop it here and I'll be back next time.